We're live. It is Tuesday, the Rich Lieberman Media Extravaganza. We are now almost feeling back to normalcy, if you could say that. I refer to myself as we, thereby talking about myself in the third person and trying to make myself more important than I really am. But nevertheless, there's a big break on this Tuesday on the Savannah Guthrie mother gets kidnapped story, as the FBI has conveniently, I put in quotations, released video that they had of the house where Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, was kidnapped. And they have images of a guy. It looks like he's got a mustache. He's got lots of camouflage on, shows him via the camera in front at the front door of the house. We have images, we've got video. And when I said coincidentally, or excuse me, I said conveniently, what I was trying to refer to is, I always think there's a reason for everything. Why suddenly we get this video this morning on a Tuesday? Or is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday or Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And, the case is not going that well. We don't hear much information. There's another video by Savannah Guthrie released. There seems to be a kind of a null in this entire case. And then, sure hell, we wake up on a Tuesday morning and we have this video that was released. And, by now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it. And presumably somebody knows whoever this guy is. Looks like he's got a mustache. He's walking around the estate of Nancy Guthrie in the wee hours of Sunday, February the 1st. And anyway, breaking the case, of course. Still got a long ways to go before they catch this guy, probably. But more importantly, where is the mother? Is she okay? Without a week, without her medication, and you found blood that they confirmed was hers on the front doorstep. That could have just been resistance to being abducted and taken against her will to wherever. So we have that to talk about. Speaking of this case, I've complimented CNN on them doing a really good job of keeping us up to date. They've had numerous interviews, experts, former cops, former FBI agents, that kind of a thing. And they do a good job. My complaint with CNN is it's somewhat picky, but it really isn't. I cannot stand. It is extremely grating. This constant CNN quote breaking news, CNN breaking news, and the breaking news, and they have their anchors refer to the CNN breaking news. Well, folks, it's not breaking news. The breaking news branding, which was started about 2 or 3 years ago, in fact, is a cheap kidnapping, no pun intended, of the term breaking news. CNN has decided that it wants to use breaking news in all of its lead-ins, all of its, hourly, top hourly, bottom of the hour headlines, and it just simply isn't the case. As a matter of fact, it's very misleading. So change it. You don't have to put it as part of your brand, CNN. First of all, it does a lot of bad shit for your continuing coverage of no matter what you're covering, because it just simply is not the case. Breaking news should be about breaking news. Anyway, I might be the only one who's irritated by that. So be it. That kind of a thing. So we have that going on. I again compliment CNN on their panel of experts, John Miller, the senior law enforcement official who is virtually, it appears, to be everywhere at a beck and call, no matter the show, the time of the day, night, he's there. Um, Anderson Cooper. We like the fact. I like the fact that they have a correspondent, their own, Ed Lavandera, a senior correspondent right there at the scene. And it gives you up to the second, up to the minute, progress, non-progress, reports, analysis there at the scene of the crime. So again, in these kind of matters, CNN is really good at conveying what's taking place, setting the scene, the crime, the incident, the in this day and age, gotta say it, unfortunately, the latest mass shooting, which it helps when you have their resources. It helps when you have reporters all over the globe, which they do. Props for that. Get rid of the breaking news. Use it only when there is legitimate breaking news. You know, folks, locally in the Bay Area, the number 6 market used to be the number 4 market, the number 6 market. Cron, the independent, is on pins and needles. Layoffs seem the likely go of an operation which was largely was now behind the times, which gives us one of the reasons why, among other things, they got rid of Daria Folsom and cutting back on salaries, cutting back on personnel, cutting back on newsroom operations. It's a lean budget, not so much lean and mean, strictly lean. Yet they're owned by Nexstar, part of the CW network. But the internal goings on at Cron are not very, shall we say, fluid. Lots of people wandering around the newsroom wondering if it's going to be their last tour of duty. And that includes everybody: staffers, editors, producers, writers, camera people, and of course, yes, on air talent. They simply don't have the required amount of revenue to take care of their operations. They have done a lot, has Cron, with regards to their website presence, and that's part of the overall budget. So if you see a more leaner Cron, you heard it from me first. But the people that are affected by the lean Cron are looking over their shoulders and wondering if it is their last day at the barn. Trust me on that one. Other stations in the market kind of meandering through a pre-spring 2026 situation. There's a lot of events coming. You've got the World Cup coming here in the summertime. You've got conventions seeming to pick up the pace in San Francisco down at Moscone. We just had the conclusion of the Super Bowl. That seems to have done well, at least off the field, for city of San Jose and, yes, San Francisco. Whether it's a prolonged success, we'll have to wait and see, because we know the restaurants did well. A lot of people hung out in the city and partied, including Santa Clara, which was, of course, the ultimate location, the stadium, and the game, which pretty much sucked on Sunday. It'll be interesting to look at the ratings. I know a lot of people probably dug in, take a look at the game. As the game progressed, it wasn't very compelling, kind of a ho-hum contest. And a lot of people probably started saying, you know what, I'm going to go finish my chicken wings and my dip away from the television. I'll get myself some space. And the game, who cares? It wasn't a compelling game, but that's the way it is. Halftime show, I indicated the other day, really liked it. Whether it's Bad Bunny, Bugs Bunny, I thought the show was pretty damn good. Okay. KCBS, it appears, is altering its traffic reports with a much different type of a setup. And you'll be hearing about that in the coming days. This is something that irritates me. Speaking of me being irritated, they now, on the weekend, on the overnight, to save money, which is the name of the game these days, you'll have the KCBS KNX, which is the all-new station owned by Odyssey down in LA. They're consolidating. So you have the KCBS anchor on traffic doing LA traffic in addition to doing Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland traffic. And again, it's all about the money. In this case, saving money. When you cut back, it's very evident, especially when you watch, or in this case, listen. But during the week, KCBS is going to alter its traffic setup. You'll see people performing or reporting, anchoring, broadcasting traffic updates for an hour more, and they're going to alter the schedule. Expect that anytime soon moving forward. What else do we got? The prevailing wisdom around newsrooms, and this is not just radio, this is television also. The cost-cutting measures taking place across the board, whether it's Fox, whether it's ABC, Disney, CBS, yes, NBC. You're going to see leaner newsrooms, less story counts, and yes, an ultimately painful decision by the staff, the suits. They're trying to save money, folks. They're trying to save money because the credit card bills that you got last month, they got also. Now, they got deeper pockets, but nevertheless, we're at a time of the year, retail not very strong. We're right in the last throes of winter. People's paychecks are leaner, a lot of it due to impending tax situations. The IRS gets their Christmas present on April 15th. And people are now scurrying just to get their payment in and all that. Those of you that still get, refunds and all that, well, congrats. Those of you, like a lot of us, who pay taxes and probably not going to get a ton of refunds, well, your day is coming. And that translates into less dollars, which ultimately translates into less advertising. Of course, that affects the bottom line for television. So it's not just cron people that are on pins and needles. It's ABC Disney. It's CBS Paramount. It's KTVU Fox Local and all that. I'm going to take a break. I'll be back later in the day with some news analysis, hopefully some other information that I think you will find both unique and exciting. And we will soon talk to you later. A couple little things. Please become a subscriber on my channel. Make a donation if you will. All the proceeds goes towards the betterment of 415 Media. Thank you. See you later.